Walking like a man, hitting like a hammer, she's a juvenile scam. Never was a quitter, tasted like a raindrop. She's got the look. Heavenly bound, cause heaven's got a number when she's spinning me around. Kissing is a color, a loving is a wild dog. She's got the look. 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 And I go la la.
The all-new 2018 Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is the Horizon League conference game for both teams today, and UIC has shut out 2 straight conference opponents. Pretty nice weather out here today, 80 degrees and sunny, and both teams will look to get a good start in October and to continue their hot starts in October. And then we're going to toss it out to break. We'll be back for kickoff here at Youngstown State University.
The Penguin Club at Youngstown State provides the financial support that allows all YSU student athletes to succeed.
As a Penguin Club member, you'll receive great benefits like priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality rooms.
Thanks to the Penguin Club, our student athletes are given the chance to win a championship and, more importantly, earn a degree.
To join the Penguin Club, call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com for more information.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
The Penguin Club supports your Youngstown State student athletes.
Thanks to the Penguin Club, our student athletes are given the chance to win a championship and, more importantly, earn a degree.
Join the Penguin Club to support YSU and benefit from priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality suites.
Be a part of the team behind the teams.
Join the Penguin Club and make a difference.
Call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com for more information.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Welcome back to Farmers National Bank Field in Youngstown, Ohio, as the UIC Flames will look to take on Youngstown State University. I'm Rick Henneman. Alongside me is Chris Colella. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Get some Horizon League soccer in.
All right, talk about a couple key players today. We've got Tamae Douglas for UIC. Tell me a little bit about how Tamae's been doing over the last few weeks.
Well, she's got 6 points on the year and 3 goals, no assists, 26 total shots, and she's been a key player for this team and getting those shots on goal, and she's been an offensive force.
Yeah, Horizon League Offensive Player of the Week the past week. And we also have Olivia Everin. She's the leading assister for UIC. How important is her play going to be today?
Oh, extremely important. And even with the amount of assists she has, she still is able to rack up 5 points, and she's still able to get the ball in on net as well. She has 31 shots on goal, 5 more than Douglas, actually. And I'm going to see how she gets involved here early on and see if UIC tries to strike here early. And then for Youngstown State, key players, we have Kyler Lum. And Lum, over the last few weeks this season, she has 6 goals and 13 total points. She's racked up 22 shots total. And for Youngstown State as well, it would be Madison Hughes. And she has her hands full today as she will try to defend Tamae Douglas herself, right? Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, Madison has had a pretty strong year, but she's going to have her hands full today. YSU looks to get on the front foot here as the ball rolls out of play.
Yeah, we talk about striking early for UIC. They're second in the Horizon League with total shots on goal this season.
Yeah, they shoot early and often. They're definitely not afraid to shoot in front of goal. YSU takes possession here.
Youngstown State going to probably look to switch the field here, so they got pretty bunched up here on this near side.
Comes down to Sydney Osegi's chasing after it here. UIC will go out to collect the ball and have a throw in.
And to go along with those quick starts that UIC is probably looking for, in their last 6 games, you had mentioned earlier before the broadcast, they have 9 goals in their last 6 games. Is that something that they've been one of their strengths as offensively?
Yeah, and I mean, to contrast that with YSU, they've, over the last 6 games, they've given up 21 goals. They've conceded 21 goals. So there's definitely a huge contrast between the two teams in that department.
Talk about a little bit of goal differential there for Youngstown State. It's 31-13 on the season. Their opponent scoring 31 goals against this year. That's something UIC is going to look to combat against and really look to expose this Youngstown State defense a little bit.
UIC will be pushing up the field now, crosses down to Olivia Everin. Makes a move to the outside and going to cross it in, but it takes a deflection, and it looks like it will go out for a UIC corner.
And if you're head coach Fabio Boateng for Youngstown State University, that's exactly what you want to see out of your defenders today, especially out of Marissa Martin right there, able to just stand her matchup straight up and force it out of bounds. And they get a corner kick out of it, but nonetheless it takes away the scoring opportunity for the time being.
It'd be Emily Valentine stepping up to take the corner here.
On the year, UIC has 43 corner kick opportunities in the first half, and here's a number 44 on the year. And we see Kylie Moffitt making the save.
And Moffitt's been pretty solid in goal all season. She was very comfortable there coming out to collect that corner.
Playing in her first home game since September 17th. Is that correct? It's been almost a month now, right?
Yeah, has been a month. The Penguins have had a few road stands between now and then. And Moffitt had dealt with injury earlier in the season. Abdul Rahman's going to play it out, but UIC is going to steal possession here and look to move forward.
You talk about Moffitt a little bit. It was good to see her back on the field. She has a 1.70 goals against average with 55 saves on the year. Really something that the Penguins have relied on goalkeeping wise and defensively.
She showed how talented she was in that game against Duquesne a few weeks ago. She had multiple one-on-one opportunities that she denied the Dukes of a goal, and the Penguins are definitely going to be happy to have her between the posts again today.
And with that game, actually, was one of the lone bright spots here in the midway to late part of the season, as that comes in the midst. It came in the midst of a 4-game losing streak, and they got a tie out of that out of a double overtime.
Just passing 5 minutes here at Farmers National Bank Field. Both teams are still tied at 0. UIC's being pressured in their third, but it looks like they're going to switch the field now. Jakuszewski's on the ball. Cross up field to Everin, and it's intercepted there.
It was an easy play for Martin, just able to get her foot on it, step in front of it, and the ball was played slow enough to where she was able to get to it.
Everin, a little bit of an errant pass, but it's cleaned up there.
Looks like UIC is starting to get the, or at least trying to get the triangles going on the outside here, trying to push forward as quickly as they can or efficiently as possible.
UIC with the throw here. Throws it in to Tomei Douglas.
Youngstown State doing a good job here, staying on their marks defensively, and here Youngstown State's going to get a counterattack out of that defensive stand there.
Yeah, Lavin tried to throw it in there to Allison Green, but it was poked out by the UIC defense.
You talk about Allison Green. Allison Green has the last 2 goals for this Youngstown State team, coming against Cleveland State on September 27th and against Oakland a couple of weeks ago. So it's been a couple weeks since Youngstown State has actually scored, losing 2-0 against the league-leading IUPUI on the 6th last week. So I'm going to look to see Youngstown State try to get Allison Green involved early and use her speed.
Allison Green, of course, has been benefiting from that move up front. She started her season on the wings, but after a few games, Coach Fabio Boateng moved her up into a striker position. Ball now to Douglas, battling. And the ball is out for a UIC throw once more. Sedeno moving it across the field. Comes down to Haley Kittle. Abdul Rahman cut that out. Now Pena's got... And the Tara Kayam cleared it out there.
It almost appeared as looked like Pena had to step on the defender for a split second, but the defender able to cut down the angle and really take the space away from her.
And as we saw right there, that was probably the best chance at goal the Penguins have had in these first 8 minutes now. Everin looking to pick out a pass. Cleared out there by Madison Hughes.
Madison Hughes for the Youngstown State Penguins has been a big part of their defensive scheme this year, making the adjustment and becoming a defensive player, playing that center back position. And that's something that's difficult to do, not having maybe played defender as much before. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, especially since YSU's gone with a less conventional 3 at the back formation. A lot more pressure is placed on her as a center back. That was the first shot for UIC there, and it went just wide of the post. So no damage there for the Penguins, but Moffa will get ready for a goal kick.
That was a great look there for UIC, sending it in towards that back post. Able to beat her man and get an early shot on goal, as you said a few moments ago, and we'll have Hughes cleared out of the box for Youngstown State. Was in a bit of trouble there defensively.
Comes down to the head of Douglas, who knocks it down to a YSU defender, and it's cleared out.
UIC's really been controlling possession here early on in this first half, and Youngstown State's been strong defensively, but they got to look to counter as quick as they can and try to work on some possession of their own, put pressure on the UIC defenders, as we saw a few minutes ago as Pena had an opportunity.
Cross is whipped in, but it is off target for UIC. Now there's a race for the ball between Pena and Kittle. Pena gets there first, but Kittle is going to actually get possession here. Allison Green closes down, a little bit of pressure, but UIC is going to maintain possession. Kittle on the ball now. Pass it outside to Everin, who crosses it into the box, but it's cleared, or it's caught there, and now out to Pena. Allison Green flicks it outside. Courtney Lavin's going to kick it back in. UIC defense was not too bothered by that. Gets that back to the goalkeeper, who clears it out. Pena's been kind of all over the place early. She's been pressuring the UIC defense.
I'd agree. She's been up and down the field, and she's taken a few passes away on the defensive end and tried to turn them into quick opportunities on the offensive side of the field. And look for her to continue that trend in this game. And this would be her 10th game played in this season. Hasn't had a whole lot of starts, so Coach Boateng giving her that opportunity, and she's taken full advantage of it.
Yeah, it's hard to break into the side when you have a talented striker up there like Kyler Lum, who she has had her own injury issues, but is probably the first choice for Coach Fabio Boateng.
Oh, no question at all. And then as well, you talk about offensively, Youngstown State, one of their strong suits is definitely their speed. I mean, you have Allison Green, who can run up top. You have Sydney Osegi, who's starting this one, will probably come in as a sub later on. But they really like to use Osegi to get up into those corners for those crossing opportunities into the box.
I would think that UIC head coach Brian Rigby is pretty happy with his team's performance so far. They've been dominating possession in these first 12 minutes now.
I would agree, and I think what he's probably stressing to his team right now is we have a little bit of a question of possession here. They want to get a few more shots on goal and being able to create more chances. And I believe there is a conversation here about who is going to establish possession here, as the ball either never came in or did come in, and who it touched last.
Yeah, referees conferring with both players and Coach Boateng right now.
We will have a sub, and it looks like it will be Osegi for Allison Green for the moment.
Now, with Osegi coming on, what changes do you think that'll make to the YSU offense?
I think it staggers it a little bit more, because usually you'd like to see Green and Osegi on the field at the same time. You have Green going up the middle, and you push Osegi to the outside, get those balls across to the cutting Allison Green in the middle. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they use Osegi in this role with Green on the sideline.
UIC has a chance now, moving into the box to the feet over, and who passes it back in. Still in the box here for UIC. Cross comes in, but it's cleared out there by YSU.
It was a great opportunity for UIC offensively, and we see they're trying to get Everett involved as much as they can and get her some assists on the board as she was looking to the outside, and it was a great opportunity, just couldn't get it all the way through to the middle.
Cross comes out, but the little lobbed pass there goes off target and out for a UIC throw.
This is something that we haven't seen used all that often here this season. Is Coach Boateng is pushing Sydney Osegi up top and not on that outside wing. Is that something that more strategical rather than anything else?
Well, it seemed like Coach Boateng had a game plan today, having a fast striker up front like Allison Green, and when he made that switch, Osegi and Green have very similar play styles, so I think he's still trying to keep the same tactics, but putting in a similar player.
It looks like Green is being checked out on the sideline by the trainer a little bit, going through some tests to see if she gets back out here.
Throw in for YSU. Comes down to Osegi. Trying to control it. Sammy Salentino on the ball now. Comes out to Lavin. She switches the play. Sophie McFarland making a race to the ball. She gets there, clatters into the defender. Osegi into the box now. And it's going to go out for a YSU corner.
This is one of the could be the second opportunity for Youngstown State here. They had the chance early on with Pena and wasn't able to get to it. But now Youngstown State will get their first corner opportunity of the game, and it looks like it's going to be Sammy Salentino going to take it for the Youngstown State Penguins. I'm interested to see if they may. Nobody's going to. Looks like they're going to take it short, so it looks like they're going to put this straight into the box, either front post or try to get it to back post.
Cross comes in, and a little bit of confusion in the box there. UIC has the ball and is looking to make a counterattack here on the break. Madison Hughes going to go out there and usher the ball out of play.
It was a great job by UIC defenders. They're able to clean that up as the ball sat in the box for a couple seconds after coming down, and just a matter of getting a foot on it and getting out of the box as quick as possible and clearing it away.
Osegi pressuring the UIC defense. It's going to come down to Salentino, who heads it down to Lavin, back to Osegi. She tries to flick it out, but passes a little bit off target.
Had the right idea there, but in that situation, probably would have been the better idea to turn back to the inside, as that outside part of the field was getting a little clustered up, look to get to the open space.
It's going to be a UIC goal kick there. Osegi couldn't regain possession near the end line there. Kittle on the ball now.
It doesn't surprise me there that the keeper played it short, and because something that UIC has been able to do really well is keep possession. As of course the broadcaster's curse, as you talk about something great, it happens, the opposite happens. But nonetheless, UIC able to keep possession and not wanting to really test those 50-50 balls, more of being sure what they're able to do and play it from the back and move up.
Yeah, they're as you said earlier in the broadcast with the triangles that they had working with the passing back and forth. It seems like they're trying to be very organized in midfield. Throw in now for YSU. Cleared out by UIC as far as Marissa Martin.
And now we're seeing Youngstown State starting to get that offensive pressure as they've held it in on this half of the field for the last couple minutes now.
Pena on the ball, plays it back into Martin, but it's cut out there. Payo plays a through ball in. It looks like Maddie Hughes has this covered, though. She flicks it back into Moffitt. Abdul Rahman plays it into Osegi, flicks it back to Pena. Pena tried that pass out wide to Courtney Lavin, but it found the feet of a defender.
Madison Hughes being tested early on here with Douglas, and Hughes has been able to win the first few rounds of this battle, and it'll be exciting to see how that translates for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Madison Hughes making that transition back to defender, and she, like we said earlier, she's going to have her hands full today. I'm sure UIC will keep testing her.
Youngstown State continues their defensive stand as they're just marking up. It's that simple, and just staying in front of their man, not committing too much to one side or the other. It's just staying at home and protecting their turf. That's really what it's been come down to.
And it looks like the two number 9 teams on the field with Douglas and Shaney Jefferson, they're marked one-on-one. It doesn't look like Shaney's going to let Douglas get too far away from her. Maybe that's a tactic by Boateng to kind of contain this Offensive Player of the Week in the Horizon League. Osegi now with a burst of pace around the defender, cuts inside, and is brought down to the box. It's a penalty for YSU, it looks like. Ref pointed to the spot. Waiting to see if this is in fact a penalty. Osegi was brought down in the box by Janai Sedeno. And it is in fact a penalty. It looks like Sammy Salentino will step up to take it.
And we were just talking about that use of speed and Sidi Osegi using a turn advantage there to get through a couple of defenders, and now YSU with a great opportunity here.
Salentino steps up. Go to the right of the keeper and or the left of the keeper, it is saved. Whipped back in and saved once more. Tara Kayayam has been not the first choice starting goalkeeper for UIC, but due to a red card suspension to their original starter, she's had to get in between the sticks.
I mean, her record stands at 0-2 on the season, but this the plethora of saves right there does not do that record justice.
Was there a second shot?
UIC with a throw-in now after that couple minutes of intensity. We're still at 0-0 now in the 20th minute.
Youngstown State is continuing to pressure here on the upper half of the field and trying to keep it out of their end, as UIC controlled possession most of this early part of the first half, and Youngstown State's trying to change that pace and try to get the ball in their possession, work their half of the field, and not let UIC dictate the game.
Payo had the ball at her feet there with two YSU Penguins around her, and the ball's going to go out here through a throw. It looks like Kittle will be taking the throw here. She whips it in early. Osegi tries to control it, a little bit of a Unorganized touch there. Douglas making a run, gets the throw to her feet. UIC did well to keep possession there.
Youngstown State again standing strong on defense and not allowing anything behind them and keeping it in front. That's the looks to be priority number one for Fabio and company this Saturday.
We've got Sophie McFarland getting ready to take the throw in here. We do have it looks like Allison Green will be coming back in for Osegi. She must, whatever test they must have done on the sideline, she must be back to full fitness.
That's good to see. Allison Green having the last 2 goals for Youngstown State. You want to get her back on the field as quick as possible, and glad to see she's back on the field and healthy. As Green will look to run this down, but it will be taken by Cedeno and played out, and Youngstown State will look to keep possession here.
Pena's going to throw it back into the feet of Green. Green cuts inside, plays it out to Lavin, back to Pena. Lavin chasing the ball down, tries to cut back upfield. That pass clipped off the feet of Salentino. UIC is going to take possession now. Douglas is on the ball. A little bit of a fake pass there. Now rolls it back outside.
The Flames looking to counter quickly here, and possession hasn't necessarily been working for them. Hasn't been able to get too many scoring opportunities on goal, and now they're going to try just to go with the quick counter here.
Paya whipped it in, but it was just behind Douglas. She still takes a shot, and Moffitt makes a save. It looks like she caught a little bit off balance there.
Looks like the shot may have fooled her a little bit. I don't know if it hit a foot of a Youngstown State defender and deflected back the other way, but nonetheless was a great effort save.
And that was the first legitimate chance for UIC in the last 3 or 4 minutes now. Salentino has the ball now, plays it over. It looks like she kind of chopped at that one a little bit.
In that last play there we saw from Salentino, UIC taking possession away rather quickly. UIC has really been able to control the middle of the field almost with no problem at all whatsoever, and being able to play at their own pace. And we've seen it in these first 20 minutes or so now that they've been able to move the ball with ease, but it's just been getting not been able to get the scoring opportunities that they've wanted so far.
UIC with another cross into the box. Madison Hughes clears it out there to Shani Jefferson. Ball comes back out to the feet of a UIC Flame, out to Kittle on the right side of the field. She crosses it back in, just over the head. And Sophie McFarland's going to try and keep this from going out of play. She does indeed, and now it just rolls out.
Looks like we're going to have another sub here, and I think it's going to be Osegi coming right back in. I think she's going to be coming in for Ruth Pena and pushing Allison Green over to the wing, and Osegi will resume her role at top.
Yeah, Pena has definitely been expending a lot of energy in this first half. For the first 23, 24 minutes or so, she's been running both sides of the field. Another cross inside. It just goes harmlessly across goal. But I'm sure that YSU's defense will want to try and prevent those crosses from getting as close from now on.
Absolutely, and if there's a UIC player anywhere in the vicinity of that ball, all you got to do is put a foot on it, and it's in the back of the net with ease. Now I think we're going to have another sub come on here, and it will be Courtney Lavin coming off. And it will be number 6, Larson Mervin, taking her spot on that outside wing.
UIC with the ball now. And a foul there by YSU that it looked like both came down, and I couldn't really get a great look at what there was, but obviously the referee saw some infringement there.
It looked like Megan Wallace may have got the ball and Coach Boateng displaying his displeasure right now, and the referee has stopped time and going to have a talk with him right now. Try to explain the play a little better, give him his vantage point and what he saw.
Yeah, it looked like the YSU defender there ended up getting the ball off the feet of the UIC player, but maybe a little bit of a too aggressive of a move for the referee's liking.
That just might be it, and now with that in turn, UIC will have a chance here to take a free kick from about 30 yards out.
And Everett's going to stand over the ball here, get ready to whip the ball in. She does. And Moffitt makes a great save in front of goal, and it looks like the ball came down to the head of a UIC attacker, and Moffitt was in the right place at the right time. Great reaction.
That was a great play by Moffitt, being able to track the ball all the way in, and yeah, it did come off the head of a UIC defender and came pretty quick off her head, and it was just a base reaction. You can't really think about it all that much. Just got to throw your hands up, wherever happens, and able to punch the ball over the crossbar, and now it becomes a corner kick for UIC.
Maybe a little tactic here, playing it short, and she doesn't. It's actually knocked out by Jefferson once more, and it's going to be another corner for the Flames.
We've talked about earlier on in this game that UIC has been able to get their corner kicks early and often. They have 43 on the season, so far today this will be their third opportunity, so just make it 46 on the year.
Dangerous there inside. Moffitt was a little bit out of position, but Sophie McFarland had that away from goal. Kind of had her keepers back right there.
That's something you always like as a keeper, not having to do the work 100% of the time. You able to split it up almost. If your defenders are playing that well in front of you, being able to get it out, clear it at certain critical points in the game, and taking that pressure off.
Possession moving back and forth in midfield here. Douglas has the ball at her feet, and it's going to go out for a UIC throw. Valentine throws it back into Douglas. McFarland marking her, and she puts the ball out of play.
And now UIC is still being able to, having kept possession in the upper third of the field offensively, they're starting to really tack on their shots. Now they're up to 6 shots, 3 on goal. They're starting to get more opportunities as this first half moves along.
Thrown back in now to Douglas. Possibility of another cross here for UIC. It's actually going to go back downfield, try and reset the offense.
That was a good switch by UIC, looking to look for some more space, and now they look to send it in.
Douglas, the pass was intended for Douglas there. Headed back in, and Moffitt, it's a goal for UIC, it is indeed a goal. There was a little bit of a confusion there at first. Moffitt tried to make the save there, but it went over her head.
That was an odd play, just all around. And ball came in, tipped up, and went down to the goal line. Just got sent back in, and looked like it got headed twice in the span of a couple seconds. And there was just nothing Moffitt was able to do about that one.
Yeah, just a little bit too much height, and it looked like that goal will be credited to Mae Douglas, who has been doing this for the last few weeks. Like we said before, the reigning Horizon League Player of the Week for women's soccer, and she shows right there why she's such a great talent for UIC.
And UIC, in the meantime, makes a sub, as it will be Carrie Birkenhead coming in for Ashland West in the midfield.
YSU will get a throw now in UIC territory, see if they can make a swift reply here, as it is 1-0 in the beginning of the 29th minute here at Farmers National Bank Field. Ball whipped into Allison Green, but it's tidied up by the UIC defense.
And that goal from Douglas really breaking a trend here for the Flames, actually. Just 5 goals coming in the first half for the UIC Flames. Youngstown State had given up 16 to opponents coming into this one.
That has definitely been YSU's problem for the majority of the season. They've been pretty stout in defense, but they give up early goals.
Conceding goals early but late in the first half. As they'll check on a Flame defender here, as it looks like Cedeno is getting checked on right now. And it appears that she is going to be okay and good to continue on. I'll tell you what, though, it's a balmy 75 degrees here for a mid-October day in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, so much for fall coming into Youngstown. Normally we're used to having to wear jackets and jeans, and I'm wearing jeans today, and it's too hot.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a green Christmas this year. There's gonna be a lot of grass. I might have to cut my grass on Christmas at this rate.
Then again, with us living in Northeast Ohio, we could have a blizzard for the entire month of December. You never know.
You're right. We could have a blizzard tomorrow, for all we know.
Cedeno on the ball here. Crossed it into Kittle, but Abdul Rahman cuts that out. Sammy Salentino on the ball now. So Sophie McFarland looking for a place to pass here. Comes down to the feet of Salentino.
And if they turn and find Allison Green here, she's running wide open on the outside wing and just not able to get it over to her, and just didn't see her.
Osegi trying to close down the ball now.
Osegi getting in a little more work than she's probably used to today, playing that up top position rather than being on the outside wing, being able to, other than relax a little bit, now it's constant pressure up top on the UIC defense.
Yeah, and when you're in that striker role, a lot of the pressure falls on your shoulders. Madison Hughes tries to cut it out there, but it's going to fall to the feet of Everin. She tries to cut it back inside, and Jefferson will clear it. To Allison Green, now she's going to cut upfield, plays a pass into Osegi, who's going to try and beat her defender to the ball. She's moving into the box now, trying to get it onto her right foot. And it's going to be cut out there. Looks like it'll make it out for a throw, unless it's actually caught by the UIC defender.
We saw the tandem of the speeds there, right? Allison Green found Osegi up the near sideline and had a chance coming up the top of the box, just unable to get it all the way in.
And that's what they were used to for the first half of the season, being able to play on the wings and crossing it into each other. Now it's a little bit of a different role. Abdul Rahman makes a great break on the ball there and plays it into Osegi. She's trying to control it. She does. She makes it into the box, lines up a shot, and it's deflected off a UIC defender out for a YSU corner.
It was a great play by City Osegi there. The ball was bouncing around, able to gain control of it, and bring it down and send it in and get a corner kick out of it, as now we will get a Youngstown State sub.
Yeah, Lexi Neal coming on for, it looks like, Sammy Salentino, who will make her way over to the YSU bench. Just passing a half hour played here at Farmers National Bank Field, UIC still leads the YSU Penguins 1-0.
And it looks like Coach Boateng for Youngstown State looks to be taking a little bit of a different approach to this one, as getting some subs in more often than usual.
That cross is played in, but UIC will have a chance to break on the counter here. McFarland did a great job of closing that one down. Back out to Jefferson.
And I was going to say, the only problem with that break there for UIC is she had no help, as she was all alone by herself on the far side of the field, and there's nobody within the 40 yards of her.
Yeah, on a hot day like this, after you play some pretty intense soccer for over a half hour, the legs are starting to get tired, and like you were mentioning, is that we're going to start seeing some more subs in and out here.
The Flames looking for more space here as they swing it to the opposite side of the field and now work it into the near side.
moving into the box now, but Marissa Martin's going to usher that ball out of play. It's going to be a YSU goal kick.
We've seen Martin play those situations pretty well, just standing straight up, not committing to one side, not coming in, diving in or anything. It's just marking her ground and being able to see the ball out. As we see a few more subs coming on here for the UIC Flames.
Speaking of Christmas, a few seconds ago, Jessica Christmas is in the game for YSU, or for UIC, I should say. YSU's going to have another throw in a dangerous position. Comes out to Abdul Rahman, who makes a flick over the defender. She's going to play it out, and a shot over the goal there by number 16, Megan Wallace.
And a great idea there for Youngstown State offensively. Just look to set it up as the box, top of the box was all bunched up, pass it out a little bit, get a shot opportunity, and just a bit high, but it had the right idea. As we'll get a few more subs coming in for the UIC Flames, and looks like both coaches looking to prepare their starters for the second half of this one.
Ball's played out. Abdul Rahman tries to make a tackle there and misses the ball. Everin on the ball now. Abdul Rahman is still trying to regain possession for the Penguins. It hasn't been working out so far, but UIC is going to push it into the YSU attacking third here, and a shot. Just a little bit of a hopper there. Moffitt wasn't too worried about that one.
And here, if Youngstown State is going to concede the possession battle and look to get their goals in quick opportunities, they're going to need to force UIC to have that possession more the mid part of the field and not the upper third in their defensive end. It's going to have to be controlled and really contained more than anything.
UIC on the ball now after an inadvertent handball by Sydney Osegi.
And if you're the Flames head coach here, Rigby, you're going to be pretty pleased with what you're seeing out of your team offensively. And on a hot day like this and controlling possession, making the opposing team work as we've seen the Penguins work so far in this one, is really setting up for to open up opportunities for them offensively in the second half. Maybe get a couple more goals up on the board, maybe try to pull away here early on in the second half, or just wear them down to the point where they're unable to counter as quickly as possible.
Yes, and along with that, I mean, we've been seeing these subs for both sides of the field, but you see the back three for YSU, the McFarland, Jefferson, and Madison Hughes there. They have remained in for this entire first half, so we'll see how well their stamina holds up. Osegi now dribbling into the box. Looking for a pass to pick out, but doesn't have really much help there with so many UIC defenders swarming on her position.
Nobody in the middle there hanging out around the 18-yard line there. Speaking of yard lines, a big football game coming up across the street tonight, isn't there?
Huge top 10 matchup at Sandbox Stadium tonight.
Should be interesting. Should be interesting.
Number 2 North Dakota State coming into the Ice Castle. Ball's going to be played out to Kittle, who's going to try and rip across him before it goes out of play. She does, but it's cut out there. UIC has done a great job of keeping possession on these couple back and forth matchups here, in the Penguins attacking third.
Absolutely, and in that last opportunity, you could say Marissa Martin has played her position even better. Being able to, she stood her ground, and anything that's come her way, it's been shut down pretty quickly.
And it does look like with Martin back there on the left-hand side with Hughes and Jefferson, that Boateng has gone for a more conventional 4 at the back now, which we had normally been used to seeing 3 at the back for the Penguins.
Exactly. He's probably seeing that, he's absolutely seeing that UIC is getting their pressure and getting in on goal, and he wants to solidify that defense even more than it already is and limit their chances.
YSU's going to get a throw here. Martin's going to look to toss it in. Was looking for Osegi there, but found the head of a UIC defender. Abdul Rahman on the ball.
With about 8 minutes left here in this first half, I'm interested to see if UIC is going to play the possession game and look to just get into the half and game plan for the second, or if they're going to look to see if they can't get one more here to kind of take the air out of this Youngstown State team going into the half. And
for YSU, they're going to have to really try and find that extra gear here in the last few minutes to keep the pressure on and try and regain possession.
And you would think that the next goal in this game is going to be a big one, because either A, it's going to become a 2-goal game, and with the kind of conditions it is today, with given the heat and the circumstances, how the seasons have gone, the difficulty would be to come back in the second half. And then on the other hand, if you tied this game, then it's back at an even game. It's anything goes for the last 45 minutes.
Foul there by YSU. Megan Wallace collided with UIC player just a little bit too hard for the referee's opinion. McFarland tried to pass up the field to Osegi, and you see that speed right there. But there is, in fact, a foul against YSU once more.
That was one that looked like it could have gone either way, or did not have the best vantage point on it up here, but looked like that Osegi almost was either had position or was fighting for position, trying to get away from the UIC defender, and it gets called back the other way.
That's kind of a situation you see on Sundays between wide receivers and cornerbacks. You have that kind of armbar situation.
Those can either be, if it's not your favorite team, it could be one of the most entertaining things to watch, but if it is your favorite team, you're arguing your point one way or the other.
And another foul against the Penguins here. Fouls have been racking up in the last few minutes, and Everin will look to take the free kick.
I'm going to look to see Everin send this back post, and they've been having success getting into that back post on these kind of situations.
It's a lofted cross there, and Moffitt's going to come out to collect. Didn't really have much whip on it to get it into that back post.
Yeah, it had a lot of height on it, and that's something that you don't want as when you're taking that kind of kick in that situation, because it just makes it easier for the keeper to come out and go up and make the save, and it doesn't really give your offensive players who are cutting back post to go up and make a play on it.
And Green and Osegi here pressuring that back line. Nice move by the UIC defender. Kittle on the ball, moving back into midfield, tries to get a pass up there to the striker, but it's going to come down to Green. Back to Osegi. Passes it out to Abdul Rahman.
It would have been interesting there if Osegi would have tried to get it back outside for Green. Green was cutting it towards the 18-yard box. If she had to step on her man, and if she would have had an open chance on goal.
Seems like that's been a bit of the story for YSU in this first half, is making the right passes and picking the right plays up until they get near that box where they kind of lose their communication.
Exactly. It's been they've looked right when it appears when someone makes the right run, the player with possession looks to almost turn away in haste and look for somewhere else and trying to make another play somewhere else.
As we're closing in here the last few minutes of this first half, and it's still 1 goal for UIC, no goals for YSU. And how important was that save by Tara Kayem on that penalty in the early first half?
Oh, it was extremely important. And in a situation where it could have been Youngstown State would have been on the board, now you're looking at a 1-0 deficit going into halftime potentially.
Goal kick now for UIC. Green cuts in there and trying to get in front of the ball, but she ends up. Now the ball is going to go out here for a UIC throw.
And so far in these last few minutes, I had questioned whether UIC was just going to play the possession game and not try to get something on the board here. They've done completely the opposite. They've been able to keep possession, and it looks like they're going to try to put one more on the board before half, if possible.
Trying to put the last nail in the coffin, as they would say.
Absolutely, and it would be an early one all as well.
Cuts back inside to Abdul Rahman. Nice turn by Rahman there. And she's brought down just on the edge of the box. This is going to be a very dangerous area for a free kick for the Penguins.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity here for Youngstown State to get right back into this game going into halftime. If you are to put up a goal here with about a minute and a half to go before half, this is a great motivator going into half, and really going to propel you into the second half.
Referee now setting up that final line 10 yards away from the ball. And it looks like Sophie McFarland will be stepping up to take the kick. Coming out there with her is going to be Lexi Neal. Shot
Pass off
in
to
by,
Martin.
oh my, what a goal for YSU. Martin, that was an amazing set piece play, and Martin slots it into the top right-hand corner of the goal.
Brilliant play set up here by the Youngstown State Penguins. Sophie McFarland set up to take the kick, passed it off to the side. Standing right there waiting for the pass as Marissa Martin goes barred down in the upper 90. It is a tie game here at Farmers National Bank Field, going with over a minute left before halftime.
And that had to have been something that the Penguins have been working on in practice. They executed that play to perfection.
You talk about a game of inches, and that ball is one more inch up, and that ball is just coming straight back out, and one more inch down, and was perfectly set up.
And seeing Martin move up and score a goal from defense today, I mean, that's something that she must have not been expecting herself either.
Oh, absolutely. And now she's probably feeling a sense of euphoria, being that she's played so well defensively, and making sure she's cut down the opportunities that UIC have had on her side of the field, and now coming up and making a play like she just did and tying this game up for her team.
Usegi now doing what she can to pressure the UIC keeper. See what will happen in these last 15 seconds or so. Green in with a sliding challenge, but it's going to be a foul against Green, and that looks like that'll be the last action of this first half. Well,
entertaining first half at the most.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the first half, it's going to be all knotted up here at Farmers National Bank Field. YSU getting that goal off the free kick towards the end of the first half, and UIC, we saw Douglas score once again. So we're going to throw it out to break now, and we'll be back with a little bit of halftime analysis coming up in just a few minutes. And we're back to Farmers National Bank Field in Youngstown, Ohio. At halftime between UIC and Youngstown State University, it is all knotted up at 1, with a late goal coming from a free kick there to tie it up for YSU. Overall, in the first half, we'll talk a little bit about UIC here, with 8 shots, 5 of which were on goal, and one of which was the great header by Tamara Douglas.
Absolutely, and we talked, it was about midway through that first half, and we had said that UIC was dominating the possession game and able to control the ball, but they weren't getting that many opportunities on goal. And then almost just as we say that, they get 4 or 5 quick opportunities on net and able to get a goal out of one of those.
And we mentioned it before the game with Olivia Everin being the team's leading assister. She was also a crucial part on that, not only that play by Douglas, but also numerous set pieces and corner kicks throughout the first half.
Absolutely, and that's been one of UIC's strong points here in this one, is getting they've been able to get those chances on net now, and being able to put Youngstown State's defense and pressure them.
Now, while Tara Kayam has been not the first choice in goal for UIC, the starting goalkeeper for the Flames, Annie DeCanio, is suspended for this match due to a red card against Detroit Mercy. She's only been forced to make 3 saves today, but giving up that goal late in the first half with the free kick.
Exactly, and they also had that penalty opportunity for Youngstown State, and was able to step up big and made 2 big saves there in a span of about 10 seconds, and preserve the lead for the time.
We're going to take a short break here and come back with a little bit more statistics and analysis on YSU's performance in that first half.
Think of the happiest things. It's the same as having wings. To the stars beyond the blue. There's Neverland waiting for you. When you leave the world behind, you can fly. You can fly. You can fly.
Welcome back to Farmers National Bank Field, where Youngstown State University and UIC Flames are tied at 1 here at halftime. And talking a little bit more about YSU now, we might as well start off with the most impactful situation in that first half for the Penguins, Marissa Martin's free kick goal.
Oh, absolutely, and it was set up from a foul taken just outside the box. As Youngstown State was looking to pressure there at the late in the first half, try to get something to knot it up going into half, and Sylvie McFarland passed it off to her foot, and most people probably expected her to take the shot, but went right over to the wide open Marissa Martin, was ready for the strike. Bottom of the crossbar and in.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable for someone who's been playing in defense all afternoon to come in and score a beautiful goal from 25 yards out.
Oh, absolutely. And she's played on the defensive end, even played her defensive end very well. And she shut down a lot of opportunities that the Flames have had on her side of the field and shutting it down quickly and getting the ball out and trying to move the ball into that offensive side of the field.
And speaking of players that have been performing in different positions over the season, we have the tandem of Osegi and Allison Green playing up front, which is a less familiar position for them.
Absolutely, and we saw Allison Green leave the game earlier, going through some concussion protocol tests there to check her out, make sure she was okay. She was okay. She came back, and now you had Osegi and Green on the field at the same time, and they got a couple good opportunities there later in the first half. So it really started to click a little better and get some good scoring opportunities.
Now, besides the fact that Tamara Douglas got that goal in the first half, Kylie Moffitt has had a pretty good game so far.
Absolutely, and it was just the one miscue off almost like a double header situation and went into the top of the net, but other than that, she's played her position really well as well.
We're going to take another short break here before we get back for the second half action here at Farmers National Bank Field. We'll be right back after a few short breaks. And we're back at Farmers National Bank Field on the campus of Youngstown State University. Both teams are tied at 1 between Youngstown State University and the UIC Flames. We'll talk a little bit about the Horizon League standings right now. For Youngstown State, they've had a bit of a disappointing start to their conference through 5 games with no wins, 5 losses, 4-9-1 overall in the season. They had a great start to the season with 4 wins and then have not been able to put it together here in conference. As far as UIC goes, they are a little bit further up the charts with 2 wins in conference play, 3 losses, and they're 4-11 overall. With both these teams playing towards the end of the season, they're going to be looking to do whatever they can to move their ways up the chart, but IUPUI in their first season of Horizon League play has been completely dominant.
Oh, absolutely. And then we saw Youngstown State play this IUPUI team just last week, and they fell by a score of 2-0. And UIC played them a few weeks ago and lost by a score of 2-1 in a very competitive game. So I'd look for things to start to get a little competitive here as we move into the latter half of the season and see how things turn out.
And as far as both these teams moving into the second half, for UIC, what do you think their keys to the second half are going to be?
I think it's all about keeping Douglas involved. I mean, you saw how big of a threat she was in that first half, and on the defensive end for Youngstown State, Madison Hughes has looked to kept her in check for the most part, as well as Marissa Martin and Sophie McFarland and Jefferson. But it's been Douglas up top for the Flames.
And we're going to come back with second half action here at Farmers National Bank Field after a short break.
Welcome back to the campus of Youngstown State University, where the UIC Flames and Youngstown State Penguins are tied at 1-1. Marissa Martin for the Youngstown State Penguins coming away with a late first half goal in the 44th minute. I'm here alongside Rick Henneman. Rick, what do you look to see coming into the second half out of both teams?
Well, I would say more of the same from UIC. Even though they gave up that goal late in the second half because of a foul in dangerous territory, they've been dominating possession. They've been working the ball up to the outsides of the field and have been pretty successful with crossing in to the box. As far as YSU goes, I think that they have to keep trying to do what they've been doing with either Allison Green up front or Sydney Osegi. They've had multiple opportunities where Osegi and Green have been able to outpace their defenders, and I think if they keep kind of getting balls into the attacking third of UIC, they'll be able to have a little bit more success.
And it'd be interesting to see for Youngstown State if Osegi and Green take the field together to start this second half. As starting the game, Green was on and Osegi started the game off the field, and Osegi would come on for Green as Green got checked out on the sideline, and then they both came in for late in the second half, and they were starting to click a little better, and it pretty much led to that first goal for the Gwins as they've really started to pressure offensively and use their speed to their advantage.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, when you have such pacey forwards on the YSU team, the UIC defense is forced into very uncomfortable positions, and that's when you have situations where there's no other option but to foul unless you want a one-on-one opportunity with your goalkeeper. Even if Green doesn't come out here, which it looks like she actually will, I was going to say that Ruth Pena had a really good first 25 or 26 minutes. She had been all over the field, and I expect to see her again in the second half.
Yeah, I expect to see her later as well, and Coach Fabio Boateng looking to probably get her some rest here going into the second half, and you probably sub her in late. And if you're Coach Brian Rigby for UIC Flames, you're probably looking to keep possession as you have been that whole first half.
And get the ball to Douglas. She has shown in this game and over the last few weeks that she is deadly in front of goal.
And it looks like we are about set for the second half kickoff here, and here we go. the look to send it into the Youngstown State defense early and cleared out by McFarland. Going to be Larson Mervin looking to move up the near sideline. Pass was cut off by Allen. Looks like he sees it up the sideline and look to chase it down herself, but will not be successful as the ball will be played back to the UIC keeper, and she'll send it out.
That was a good move for Osegi. If she could have been able to get around her defender, she had some open field.
Ball will be played to the far side, and it will be pressured up and played into the middle, and it looked like it was Lexi Neal that got a foot on that one and sent it back out. Ball being sent back and down the sideline. It looks like UIC will be caught offsides, and it will become a Youngstown State kick.
And it does seem like Coach Fabio Boateng brought the team back out in a very similar formation as the first half, with 4 at the back, which had not been as conventional for them throughout the first half of the season.
They're trying to get Olivia Everin there along into the corner and try to get her to send one across into the box, because she's been so deadly for them on the assist charts.
Yeah, leading assister with, she had 3 going into this game, having the 1 for Douglas. She's now at 4 on the season.
Moffitt plays it at her feet, looking for options, trying to get her team to set up, and she'll just pick it up, and she'll look like she'll boot it away. We'll take a bounce at the midfield, and Osegi tries to back into it and play it, and unable to do so, and we come a Youngstown State possession as Neal gets it out to McFarland. Plays it along to Abdul Rahman, and she's able to settle it down and looks to push it to the outside on the far side.
And Abdul Rahman's performance in the first half isn't going to show up on any statistics sheets or any score sheets, but she has been an anchor in midfield for YSU, always closing down on the ball, always giving her attackers a very hard time.
And this ball we played up for Allison Green into the corner, and she'll look to take on her defender one-on-one, looking for options. In the corner all by herself as Abdul Rahman will try to come and help out, but it's just a tad too late. Ball sent back in by Lexi Neal, and will go across the goal mouth for a goal kick. Allison Green there had a good idea, was set up along the outside into the corner, just didn't have the help.
Yeah, and she's moving out to her familiar position on the wing, and I think that will give her a little bit more success here in the second half. Osegi had a pretty successful first half up front, so Fabio Boateng's going with much of the same here for YSU.
And it looked like Allen was trying to send a through ball up to Douglas along the near sideline, just unable to connect it as a Youngstown State defender got her head on it. And now UIC will look to regain possession and try once again, as Allen will push it to the far sideline. Looks like Everin controls the pace, and she'll look for an option, and she does, able to get it into an offside. Referee had a flag up for an offside position, and center referee did not see it, and now we have a situation here on the far sideline as Boateng will receive a yellow card.
And it seems like head coach Fabio Boateng for YSU is very unhappy with how the assistant referee handled that situation on the offside, and you saw he came right out to speak with that third official on the sideline.
We did see the far referee did put his flag up for an offside position, and either the center ref just didn't see it at the time, or allowed to play on, and or disagreed with the outside referee's opinion, and did not pan out the way things would Fabio Boateng would have liked there.
And that's a job that I would never want to have, would be a linesman here in soccer. The fractions of an inch that you have to pay attention to.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard decision to make. We have another stop of play here.
And I believe it was just that the whistle was not blown for play to resume. And now we will get that. Just play it short to just outside the box for Hughes, and she'll send it up into the middle. But Allen was waiting there and chests it down, and it goes right to Douglas. Abdul Rahman takes it away, and it'll be Larson Mervin moving up the near sideline, trying to get something going for her team offensively. It'll be Christmas looking to the far side, but it was Martin stepping in front of that one and clears it up towards the Flame defense. Ball played back for the UIC defense, looking to work the ball up the field and unable to do so as it becomes a Youngstown State throw. Ball played around in the middle, and Abdul Rahman will look to play it along to the near side to Mervin. Plays it back into the middle to Neal, and will be flicked on by Osegi into the box, and it will be picked up by Kayam.
Great idea for YSU, playing those quick 1-2 passes. It's really going to throw UIC out of organization.
Ball will be sent up into the Youngstown half of the field as McFarland will head up into the air, look to settle it down. Little to no pressure for her on that one, able to get it down pretty easily, but now Douglas takes it for UIC. Flicks into the box for Payo. She's unable to keep possession, and now Hughes will see it out once again. Osegi will flick it on for Abdul Rahman, and she'll play it ahead to Allison Green, racing into the far corner. Youngstown State with an opportunity here in the box. Send it back to Megan Wallace in the middle of the field. She'll take a shot from the outside, and it'll just go just wide of that upper 90 mark.
Wallace is feeling herself out here because in the first half she had a shot from a very similar position in the field. She's actually controlled the power a little bit more on that one. She's brought it a little bit closer to goal. So we'll see if she's in that situation again in the second half.
We'll see if she can put one on net here as well, and if she gets that opportunity once again, really just, as you said, feeling herself out, trying to adjust. And that ball we played up for Douglas is just a bit too much for her, and it will go to the feet of Moffitt. Now Douglas is saying there to Payo, why play that ball as hard as when I'm standing right here.
Yeah, exactly. She must be a little bit frustrated. McFarland was able to kind of just let her go after that one because it was definitely making its way down to Moffitt.
Marissa Martin looking to gain control of it, send it up to her offense, unable to do so, as it'll be Payo settling it for her outside winger, and it will be Everin sending it in, and Hughes able to get a foot on it, sends it out of the box.
A little bit of an acrobatic clearance there from Hughes. She was moving one way and managed to turn her body and flick it back the other way.
That's something I was able to do about 4 years ago in high school soccer. I can tell you I'm not able to do that right now.
I would say the same thing myself.
Ball played back for Allison Green to retrieve, and she'll look to create an opportunity offensively, and will become a Youngstown State throw. Played up the far sideline, and it will just go back out of play, and it will become a UIC throw, as the ball did cross into play, and it just took a bounce out.
And it looks like YSU has been more in control of possession in this first half. It's pretty much the exact opposite of how they started this match.
I think that getting into halftime, they really helped them out, really able to refresh a little bit, being able to maybe come up with a new game plan, how they're going to keep the ball offensively and possess. As the ball will be played in the midfield for UIC, played to the outside, it'll be Allen looking for room, looking for options as well. Unable to do so as Rahman gets there and is able to break it up, but the ball deflects right to Christmas. And it'll be a foul called here on Allison Green. She had one late in that first half. We saw that time expired on, and one right there on Kettle.
You would call that a striker's tackle. They're not as trained in the technique of making a good defensive tackle, and the referee obviously saw that she got a foot in on her defender there.
And now the UIC will send it into the looking back post, and just a little too much, and Flames unable to get a head or a foot on that, and it will be seen out for a Youngstown State goal kick. Martin will look to set up, and it looks like that they're going to play this one long into the midfield and try to win the 50-50 opportunity.
We saw in that first half that Martin definitely has some power in her leg, being able to get it up there to midfield.
And right there we saw Mervin switch to the far side of the field, as now Christmas will move in on Jefferson, plays it outside to Douglas. Douglas on the outside of the box, looks for options, gets it to the middle, and it'll be flicked on and seen out. It'll become a dead ball free kick for Youngstown State.
Yeah, a little bit of a high foot there by UIC. It looked like it almost caught Abdul Rahman on the head.
And let's talk about, in all sports, just there's been so much talk about the safety of the game, and the NFL has taken great strides in protecting their players concussion-wise, and it's gone across all sports, really.
Yeah, in soccer, there's even talk of outlawing bicycle kicks on corners because of the high possibility of a foot finding somebody's head and causing a head injury.
That would be something, one of the more entertaining plays in the game of soccer, if you were to take something away like that, and you take away so many different highlights, and it really takes away from a player's ability to do something that others probably may not be able to do, because I know I cannot perform that even when I played soccer.
Yeah, exactly, and it's the fine line between player safety and entertainment that these organizations have to come up with a happy medium.
I couldn't agree more, as now the ball we played on Allen should look to the outside, but Mercer Martin there once again shut it down and sent it up to her forward, Allison Great. UIC defense will send it up into their midfield and looks into that far corner, looking to that corner for Irvin again, and it was Mercer Martin again shutting it down. Ball sent into the box, and it will become a YSU possession as Moffitt will control. We're to the 57th minute here of the matchup between the UIC Flames and the Youngstown State Penguins. We are tied at 1-1. As will be Lexi Neal will look to head that forward. The UIC defense will look to clean that up and look to become a quick counter. Unable to do so, as it will become a Youngstown State throw-in.
Regardless of this heat, both teams have looked very energetic coming out into the second half. It's a lot of back and forth action.
I would agree 100%, and that's another thing. We're getting to about 12 minutes into the second half here. We haven't seen any subs yet, but I would think we're going to see some coming soon, probably.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to keep fresh legs on the pitch, especially with situations like this.
Ball slips through to Osegi. Osegi looks to keep it in, sends it towards the middle, and it will be cleaned up by Kayam.
And we were just talking about it, that speed of Osegi. Her legs still have a ton of energy in them.
McFarland will take away the UIC possession and look to get a quick counter for Youngstown State, unable to do so, and it'll be UIC looking to get possession of their own. Ball off the foot of Neal, and it will become a UIC throw, and we will have our first sub of the half here. Coming on for the Flames, it will be number 15, Carrie Birkenhead, the freshman forward from Plainville, New York. And coming off, it will be Jessica Christmas. Well, let's talk about Christmas. Has me excited, and we're still like 2 or 3 months away.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about having a green Christmas, and a few seconds later, Christmas comes onto the field.
It'll become a UIC throw-in as Kettle look downfield, and Pio looking for options, finds Douglas. It'll be just seen all the way back. Sends it into the middle, where the ball will be bounced around and regained possession by the Flames. Plays to the outside to Everin. She'll look to take on Martin, try to get to the outside foot of her, sends it into the box, and it will be picked up and saved by Kylie Moffitt.
Great second chance save there for Moffitt. That first initial attempt rolled back out from under herself, and she was able to get back down on it. She does look a little shaken up here.
She did miss some time the last couple of weeks with an injury, and we'll see how she handles this and able to just shake it off right now. Appears to be okay, and she looks like she's going to send this one away.
And that's good for YSU. Injuries have plagued the goalkeeper position so far this season with with their backup goalkeeper Brittany Hoskins having a foot injury a few weeks ago.
So now it's all hands on deck, right?
Exactly.
UIC throw-in look to keep possession here, and it will be possessed by Everett, and a slide tackle opportunity, and nothing called, and it becomes a Youngstown State possession.
Ref saw there that it was a very clean tackle. She got only the ball, none of her opponent.
Ball we played back into the box for Kayem, and she'll send it up the field for her teammates, see if they can't get anything going offensively, and it will be headed to Green, and she'll look to keep it in, and it'll become a Penguin throw-in. And you talk about those slide tackle opportunities, and sometimes you can get the ball as clean as possible, and it looks like one of the most dangerous things, or it could be one of the most unclean tackles, and it could look almost harmless.
Exactly. I mean, it's all comes down to referee discretion. I mean, the difference between having your cleats showing up or down could be the difference between a yellow card and no foul whatsoever.
Ball played in the offensive third for UIC, and will be seen out by Hughes rather quickly, but they regain possession in the midfield. UIC defense steps up, takes it away, as now Douglas will take on Osegi. Osegi looking for options all by herself here for a little bit, trying to turn and run with it, unable to do so, and Osegi takes out Douglas from behind, and that will become a UIC free kick.
And this is another thing that we didn't really see much in the first half, is Douglas playing a little bit in defense rather than staying in her central attacking role.
It looks like she's moved into that midfield position, playing both sides of the field, something we've seen Pena do early on in that first half.
Yeah, and I'm still curious to see as to when Pena will come on, if she'll come back on in this second half. But we could be seeing, as we're in the 62nd minute now, we could start seeing more subs for YSU.
And this will become a Youngstown State free kick. And you talk about as we get into the 62nd minute of the second half here, this game could end up coming down at the very end of the last 10 minutes. No signs of the tie being broken right now.
As the first half ended in a late goal, we could very well see the same thing in the second.
Ball will be played by Neal, and Abdul Rahman will pick it up, looking to make a move by Allen, and Allen is not fooled as she'll take it away. Douglas now looks for options and plays it to Allen. Allen right back to her, and UIC look to control in the midfield. Unable to do so, as Wallace will send it up for looking for Green, and it'll just go to the UIC defense. We've seen Youngstown State get those opportunity for a quick counter and just unable to connect that final pass.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been that way for both sides. The midfield tandems on both sides of the field have been very impressive as far as intercepting passes, regaining possession for their own side, and looking to break. But it has been very back and forth in the midfield today.
Very hard working indeed, and now it will become a Youngstown State throw on the far side, looking to move out of their half of the field. Larson Mervin will take on two UIC defenders at once, and it will become a UIC throw. Martin able to get a foot on it, comes right back to the UIC player and sent into the box for appeared to be Birkenhead trying to get in on goal, and Moffitt was able to step in front of it.
And that was a instinctual move by Moffitt. She was moving away from her goal. As soon as the cross was sent in, she knew that it wasn't going to have enough power on it to get across the face of goal.
I think that's one of the traits or skills that she's been able to master very well, is tracking the ball. Is that right?
Yeah, and we saw that in the first half. She made a few saves that were like bang-bang plays that she had to make very, very quick reactions.
Ball sent up towards the UIC defense, and it will be Kittle unable to get a good foot on it, but just enough to break up the scoring opportunity. As now Douglas will look to pressure Wallace, and she'll look for a give and go, gets it right back, but Rahman is there to take it away, but nonetheless becomes a flame throw-in.
I have to bring this up again with Douglas playing both sides of the field and the type of weather that we have today. I'm very surprised by the decision by head coach Rigby for UIC that he's having her play both sides of the field, because she's been their most effective player in front of goal so far this season.
Yeah, I'm also surprised as well, and even if that's something that maybe she's not used to playing that position, and if you're making that transition just today, it'll be interesting to see how she handles that kind of situation. Ball will be sent up and headed away by UIC, and they'll look to gain possession in the midfield, but Youngstown State heads it away just in a matter of time, and Allison Green gets possession for Youngstown State. Ball sent up toward the box, and UIC clears it out again, but Neal gets a foot on it, sending it into the box for Green. And ball took a wicked little bounce there, had some major spin on it, and ball settled down a little quicker than Kaya might have thought there coming out to play that one.
Yeah, it looked as if the ball almost cut right back straight up into the air, and she was already off her line, so she had no choice but to commit.
With great risk comes great reward, as they say sometimes.
Yeah, and she definitely got the reward there.
Youngstown State looked to pressure, and Mervyn moving into the upper corner of the field and trying to get something going for her team. Maybe looked to send that one into the box, got cleared out by UIC Flames, and we come a Youngstown State possession throw-in, rather, in that part of the field. You can start to hear the tailgate coming into full effect next door.
Yeah, the huge top 10 matchup between North Dakota State University and Youngstown State tonight at Stambaugh Stadium. Everyone's already out here and looking forward to enjoying a good night for some football.
Lexi Neal takes a shot in on goal off the outside of her foot and will roll for a goal kick for the Flames. Now, you mentioned the tailgate. Yeah, a little bit more traffic here downtown Youngstown today.
Yeah, more than we're used to. I mean, a lot of things going on in Youngstown today, with Barstool Sports tailgate show being just a few blocks away at the MVR, and people already out here many hours before kickoff for their tailgates.
It's great to see, and now it'll be Everin cutting back to the middle of the field for the Flames, looking to get a scoring opportunity, looking to take a shot, able to get one off before Martin cuts her down, and Moffitt makes a diving save, as that one looked like it could have kicked off the post and in. Look to roll it out here, and a little bit of miscommunication, as that ball will find the feet of Tamara Douglas, looking for options and unable to find them. Neal will take over, and the ball played slowly to Mervyn, intercepted by the UIC Flames, and look to counter quickly, sent into the box off Shawnee Jefferson, and it is going to become a handball in the box, and it will become a UIC Flame penalty kick opportunity.
Very, very decisive decision by the ref there. He took no delay in making that call, so he must have had a very good view on that situation. I couldn't see it myself, but UIC will have the second penalty opportunity between the two teams this game.
Yeah, the ball was played into the box rather hard, and all Jefferson had to do was lift her foot up, and you could see it deflect off something as it was going up, and became a very rather easy call for the referee at that point. It will be Emily Valentine taking the penalty kick for the Flames, and she scores in the bottom corner, beats Moffitt. It will become a 2-1 lead for the UIC Flames.
Not really much Moffitt could do there. She tucked that so far in that left-hand corner. Even if she made a dive, I'm not sure she would have made it to that one.
Absolutely, and Valentine registers her third goal on the year, picking up another couple points there, and that was something that if you're Coach Rigby for the Flames, that's what you want to see out of your Flames offense, is generating those opportunities there. We saw a couple of miscommunication plays from the Youngstown State defense, rather that be from the heat or some fatigue. UIC taking full advantage.
Yeah, and we go back to how important for the Penguins, the missed penalty kick in the first half, and we could have been looking at a 2-2 game. Now it's 2-1.
Absolutely, and now UIC will continue to control possession, and will be played up for Birkenhead, and unable to get a good foot on it, and that one will go all the way in, regain possession by the Youngstown State defense and able to clear it out. Allison Green looking to run onto this one and able to do so, looking for that corner. Try to cut it back and looking for options as Mervin will come down to help out and will become a UIC goal kick.
Interesting to see if head coach Fabio Bonteg makes any tactical changes in either formation or with substitutes here after that UIC goal, coming down on just a little over 20 minutes to play here.
Just as you say that, we see 2 Youngstown State players step up to the midway line there, and looks like there will be 2 subs coming on for Youngstown State once we get a stoppage here. And it will become a Youngstown State throw-in, so now Osegi will see it in for Neal. Try to play it in on defense, looking for an opportunity. Abdul Rahman plays it for Green. Green leaves it back for Rahman, and Rahman leaves it back for Wallace. Ball finds its way to Lexi Neal. She'll look for an option. Osegi looking to get into the box, and it will be taken away by Douglas, and now becomes a counterattack situation for the Flames. Played up by Payo all the way up to Birkenhead and cut off by Jefferson. And that will become a UIC flame throw.
Jefferson did a good job of getting down there and keeping up with the attacker that she was supposed to be marking, but just a little bit of a uncoordinated clearance there, and it's going to go out for a UIC throw.
And as time goes on here, it looks like we're going to have subs from both sides, and one more Penguin has stepped up to the line, and you can tell that one of those Penguins is Kyler Lum, but it'll be the first time we see her today.
And I think this is a great decision by Boateng. She has had this entire match to rest, even though she's had injury issues throughout the season. She's going to have some very fresh legs that come onto the field and make a difference.
And those subs will come onto the field now, and UIC will make one sub here, and it will be Kittle coming off, and Cedeno replacing her. And for Youngstown State, it will be Martin, Green, and Neal coming off. And coming on, it will be Courtney Lavin, Sammy Salatino, and Kyler Lum.
A little bit less pace coming off the field with Allison Green, but a lot more height and more physicality with Courtney Lavin.
Absolutely. And right there, Lavin will see it out, and it'll become a UIC flame throw. And strategy here for Boateng is to try to get some energy onto the field and something to maybe spark a late goal here to force overtime and maybe even put yourself in a position to win this one late. Daniel will look up the far side, looking for Everin and unable to control that, and ball will be played across the field. Will be finding the feet of Douglas, plays it back to the outside. Pyle looking to send it in towards the back part of that penalty box, and will be headed in on goal, but would have been gone just wide, but Moffitt makes the save anyway.
And once again, those UIC crosses into the box causing some trouble for the Penguins.
And that punt didn't have a whole lot on it except the height, and UIC will take over right in their half of the field, the upper attacking third, and it will be Allen looking for options as she moves in with pace. Abdul Rahman will step in and she'll take it off of her. Mervin plays it up for Lum, and Lum will with control in the middle of the field. She looked to play it on to the running Osegi, but it was the UIC defense and Kelly Fritz getting her foot on it. Excuse me, Alexis Jakazuki.
Not only can we hear the tailgates now, we can smell them as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Is that a little barbecue I can smell?
I would say so myself.
Might have to take a stroll over when this one's over. Valentine will look to play it, and she will find an option, but gets it right back, and now she moves it on to Douglas. Plays up the near sideline, and will be Birkenhead looking to move in.
It's going to be an offside call here against UIC.
So now it'll be changes possession, and Youngstown State will have a chance here to look to control possession here, and I don't expect them to go for the big kick here. I look to see them play it short.
Yeah, and it's kind of that goal went kind of against the pace of play here in the second half, but ever since that it's been all UIC. They've been able to dominate possession since their second goal of the game.
Madison Hughes will go with the medium range kick, and Lavin will flick it onto Osegi, and it'll be cleared out by Valentine right there. Megan Wallace looking to the outside for Lavin, and it'll go to the feet of Douglas. Allen finds Payo, and she'll look to the middle of the field. Payo looks to get it right back, try to field it off her hip, unable to do so, and Megan Wallace tried to get that for the Penguins, and it's Madison Hughes coming in to clean up for them and sees it out. Now we're starting to really see Youngstown State becoming a struggle for them to gain possession and really keep it.
Yeah, and especially with the time ticking down on the game, you're looking at a lot more fatigue. You're going to see those passes will be less and less accurate. And really look for YSU to try and get the ball at the feet of Kyler Lum. They brought her into this game to do one thing, and that's to score their tying goal. So they need to get the ball to her feet and see what she can do.
Kyler Lum has 1 goal in Horizon League play, and she has 4 shots registered. And with the 5 games that they have played in the Horizon League thus far this season, so not only is she a scorer, but she creates opportunities with her feet. She's really skilled with her feet, able to move in and out of tight spaces with ease, and we'll see if she gets an opportunity here. But UIC with the opportunity themselves and unable to do so. Ball was batted around in the midfield, and UIC retook possession. Ball be sent into the box by Everin to the feet of McFarland, and McFarland will see it out right back to Everin. Played a little pitch and catch there, and the ball is headed back into the box, and it will be Moffitt taking it away as she collides with her own defender McFarland. It'll become a Youngstown State possession.
And I mean, really, really instinctual. We've said this a few times today, but Moffitt has been very quick off her line to come out and make the tough decision to come and collect the ball.
And that's really important as a goaltender. Is that not as you don't want to hesitate. That slight hesitation could cause a goal or a non-goal one way or the other.
Yeah, it's a split-second decision, no matter how you do it.
Saltino looks to take this one away for Youngstown State and keeps it from becoming a corner kick. Great instinct by her, nonetheless. It will become a UIC throw. And we'll have a plethora of substitutions coming on for the UIC Flames.
Plethora is the right word. It looks like almost half the team is getting switched around here.
It looks like Coach Rigby for the Flames is going with a strategy of putting fresh players onto the field and more so being able to wants players to be able to get back on defense and preserve this 1-goal lead that they have in these last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and as you were saying, we see that the UIC, one of their biggest threats in front of goal, Douglas, has taken a spot on the bench now, and it'll be interesting to see if they start playing more of a passive form of game, playing more in their side of the half and passing it back and forth.
That wouldn't surprise me at all if they would look to use the whole field to possess the ball and pass it around a little bit, regardless of where they are on the field. Now, after a foul, it becomes a Youngstown State free kick, and Hughes will look for options and looks like she's just going to set it up the middle of the field. Off the foot of Allen, and it was Pollard playing it in. And another foul is called in the middle on Kittle, and it will become a Youngstown State kick once again. Hughes sends it away for the second time in a matter of 20 seconds, and Lavin able to get to it and looks for options on the outside. Nobody there. And she'll look to turn it back all the way back to defense as miscommunication as it goes through the feet of Jefferson, and Moffitt plays up to the far side.
Jefferson just caught herself a little bit off balance there, but once again, Moffitt's there to cover the back of her defense. And
again, another very decisive decision for Moffitt to come all the way out. Saw her defender was in a little bit of trouble, was off balance, caught in a bad spot, and was able to clean it up. 2-1 is our score here. UIC Flames lead it by 1 goal here in the 78th minute of the second half of this Horizon League matchup. Youngstown State looking for their first win in the Horizon League, and UIC looking for their third.
And we had a quick substitution there. It looks like Courtney Lavin is going to take a spot on the sideline while Allison Green is back into this game, trying to get a little bit more speed up front once more.
Now UIC looking to move in for another scoring opportunity, but taken away by Abdul Rahman. Tried to cut to the outside, but wasn't unaware from the back check and able to keep possession as Youngstown State. Salatino sends it in towards the box for Osegi, and Osegi knew either A, she didn't have much of opportunity there, or B, looked a little gassed there and just took the back seat.
Yeah, and Salentino had a very important decision there, whether to play it in between the two defenders, hoping that Osegi could run around, or to play it outside to Osegi. It seems like maybe Osegi was expecting the ball to come to her feet.
And we mentioned a little bit ago, earlier in the half, is just Zep play is whistled out of play, and it will become a Youngstown State throw. We mentioned Youngstown State's inability to connect those final couple passes to execute a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, and it's just those last second decisions that they're going to have to tidy up here in the last 11 minutes to get this game back and tied up.
Here's Paige Proctor for the Flames, one of the many subs we saw just a few moments ago. Sends it in on goal, and it's Moffitt going down to the ground making the save, and she'll look to throw it out. Lum's there to receive it. She'll look to turn it upfield quickly, and it'll be Green coming back to help out and gain possession. And it will become another forward foul, as Rick would say, and it will become a UIC free kick.
Yeah, just a little bit of a tug on the back there, and no harm, but a little bit of a foul.
A little bit. As we approach the 80th minute here, we get down to about 10 minutes to go in this one. Youngstown State looking to claw their way back into this one, maybe tie it up, send it to overtime, and be looking to strategize here and see how they're going to do that. Either if that quick counter opportunity, or if they're going to look to try to possess these last 10 minutes and get something going. Abdul Rahman makes a move in the middle and looked for a Green, but it was Cedeno stepping in front of that one and takes it away for the Flames, and it is seen out of play and becomes a UIC throw.
Still looking to see Kyler Lum be able to get the ball in her possession for a little while. We haven't seen her with the ball at her feet quite that much since she's come on.
And here's Pio makes a move into the box, and with a burst of speed gets around the defender and shot off the outside of the net. Had to step on Madison Hughes there for a second, and it becomes a goal kick.
It's been pretty much all UIC since they scored their second goal.
And we've seen it happen last few minutes, especially. The UIC Flame defenders coming up and intercepting passes, not necessarily lackadaisical passes either, just stepping up, making a play on the ball and cutting right on it.
Yeah, they're not afraid to, with this 1-goal lead, they're not afraid to be able to push up the field to make more interceptions.
Now another sub will come on for UIC as Pio will sub out, and it will be Olivia Everin coming on. And now UIC maintains possession on the far side of the field. Youngstown State unable to get anything going here in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to get much going. And with that last set of substitutions, we've seen Douglas come back onto the field. So another potent goal threat on the field for UIC.
As now UIC will get a corner kick opportunity here in the 82nd minute, approaching the 83rd minute. And this could be a big situation here if you're Youngstown State or even UIC. You could go up 2 goals here to really put this game away, or Youngstown State make a stand here to keep the game alive.
Well, and you often can see counterattack opportunities after a corner. That's why you see 4 UIC defenders back.
Everyone sends it into the box, and it gets headed out by, it looked like Madison Hughes, and Green will send it up for a UIC Flame defender to send it right back in, as nobody was up the field for Youngstown State yet, as they were all back protecting their keeper. Tried to send it in, was unable to do so, as now Lavin will see it out, and now Wallace finds Green, and Green looks to hold possession. Ball does find the feet of Kyler Lum, and looking to turn it upfield, but just unable to do so, and has to play it straight back.
And another thing we haven't seen YSU do as much in this game as they have done in the past is switching the field of play, switching back from left to right and forcing their opponent to reorganize.
And ball is played into the box for Osegi, but Kayam comes all the way out to the line to play that one, and shuts down any possibility of a Youngstown State scoring threat. This ball now bounces to the Youngstown State defense. Ball takes a weird deflection off of Madison Hughes as well as Rasmussen, and it becomes a Youngstown State possession.
And that's the third or fourth weird bounce that Moffitt has had that both goalkeepers, in fact, have had to play with today.
Douglas now in the middle of the field. It's the first time we've seen her playing in the middle today. We've seen her up top, and we've seen her on the wing now. So Douglas doing a little bit of everything today.
Yeah, she's definitely a Swiss Army knife for this UIC Flames offense and defense.
Now Rasmussen sends one into the middle of the box. Nobody there. And it will go all the way out to the other corner. Mervin trying to get there, try to beat Christmas, and was able to do so as it becomes a Youngstown State throw. Tell you what, all I want for Christmas is some more soccer. I would like another 20 minutes at least.
Yeah, we'd see if YSU can get this thing knotted up, and we'll be sticking around for an extra couple minutes.
Rasmussen looking to push the envelope here and get into the box, and unable to get an angle on it, and Swift McFarland with a great defensive play sees it all the way out.
And that's something that Sophie McFarland loves to do, is use her physicality to keep some maybe quicker but less strong opponents away from the ball.
Now we'll have a couple subs come on for Youngstown State, as well as one more for UIC, as it will be Christmas coming out, and it will be Payo coming back in. For Youngstown State, looks like Lexi Neal was one of the subs that found her way back on, as now UIC sends it into the box, and Moffitt will just come out and play it. We're in the 86th minute here in the Horizon League matchup between the UIC Flames and the Youngstown State Penguins. UIC holding on to a 1-goal lead late in this one. Youngstown State has been unable to get anything going into their offensive third of the field, and UIC's really maintained possession and not allowed them to do much.
And with that substitution, we saw Shani Jefferson going off, who'd been playing in central defense for this entire game. Maybe Boateng is looking to get more players upfield here in the last 4 minutes or so.
Youngstown State looks like they are going to control in the offensive third of the field as the ball comes to the feet of Lavin in the midfield. Looks like a fake shot pass to Osegi. Osegi looks at the middle. She'll take a shot from the outside, and it goes just high of the crossbar. It'll become a goal kick for UIC. One of the better opportunities we've seen for Youngstown State here in the second half.
Yeah, and Osegi wasn't afraid to take a shot on goal or at goal there. It managed to go over the post and didn't trouble the goalkeeper too much there, but that's the type of mentality that YSU is going to need here in the last few minutes.
And we've seen Youngstown State in this one take shots from that range and further, just unable to get it down. Ball to be played to Rasmussen and unable to maintain control, and it'll become a Youngstown State throw with about a little under 4 minutes to go. Looking to switch the field here as a ball comes to the feet of Neal. Neal playing in that defensive spot, and Coach Boateng probably going with that offensive mindset and an offensive defender out there. And this ball will be sent into the box for Osegi to run onto, but unable to get there as Cayenne will come out and play it.
I think that cross caught everyone by surprise. She was about 35 or 40 yards out of the box and was able to get it pretty close to Osegi.
Saltina will now look for options on the far end of the field. Will go to the feet of Kyler Lum, and Lum will send it up the field to the corner for Green, and the ball will just sneak out over that boundary line for a Flame throw.
And that's the type of movement that had really helped YSU in their first few games this season when they got their 4 wins, was letting Allison Green move down that end line and playing balls that just kind of scoot in play where she's able to turn and work back infield.
Absolutely, and UIC will have another sub here, and play was stopped for the substitution under 5 minutes here in Horizon League play, and it was Allen coming back on for the Flames. Wallace takes possession for Youngstown State and plays it all the way to the outside. McFarland tries to send it in for Rahman, and it finds its way back to the middle for Wallace, and Lavin now looks for options. Tries to get around her and unable to do so, and the ball will find the head and feet of Douglas, and Douglas tried to push it up the field as quickly as possible. Couldn't do that. Ball's back in the middle of the field for Wallace. And now Lum will control. Lum will take a shot from the outside, and ball had some spin on it and a little bit of curve, and diving for it was Cayenne and made the save.
And that's the idea that YSU needs. They need to get the feet to the ball of Kyler Lum here, and we saw right there that she has the technique to trouble goalkeepers no matter what shot she takes.
We are just under 2 minutes to go here in the second half in this one, and Youngstown State looks to pressure here late. Ball, a little miscommunication. Rahman was looking for Lum, and Lum made a cut at the last second, and ball found the feet of a UIC Flame instead. Ball played up into the corner for Payo. Payo looking to move into the box, and ball is seen out for a goal kick. Youngstown State going to have to hurry this one. Wallace moving up the field, makes a move and gets by Douglas and sends this one up to try to get it to Lum or Green, unable to do so. Takes a couple bounces in the midfield. It is sent up in the Youngstown State offensive third. Rahman tried to settle it down, but USC Flame defense will see it out once again. And now Everin sends it up into the Youngstown State half of the field. And that'll become a Youngstown State throw-in as we're just under a minute to play here and counting.
Why she's going to have to get this off quick if they're going to be able to organize an attack right now.
Ball comes to the feet of Lavin. Lavin looking for the middle of the field, and ball just a little too far out in front as Proctor stepped in front of that one, making a play for the Flames. Sends that one all the way into the corner, and that will become a goal kick. Ball sent in, and we're under 30 seconds to go here as time ticks away. Moffitt looks to set up quickly. Hughes looking for options, has the backtrack, finds McFarland on the outside. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Lavin looks for the far side.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Finds Lum and now flicks it on for any possibility for Osegi or Green. Green running onto it into the box and unable to get anything on it. And that will do it as the UIC Flames come away with the win today with the final score of 2-1. UIC moves to 5-11 on the year, is now 3-3 in the Horizon League. As for Youngstown State, they will drop to 0-6 in conference play, and they will move to 4-10-1 on the season. Rick, we've seen one of the more entertaining games this year at Farmers National Bank Field. It was an offensive juggernaut back and forth, even though the scoreboard doesn't show it.
Yeah, I mean, and we probably saw the goal of the year for YSU with Martin's goal off of that set piece play. And it comes down to a story of two penalties. YSU stepped up to take theirs early in the first half and couldn't convert, but the UIC attempt found the back of the net here in the second half, and that was really the big difference today.
All right, and so for Rick Hanneman and I'm Chris Colella. So long from Youngstown State University, where the final score is the UIC Flames 2 and Youngstown State 1. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been a Horizon League copyright broadcast and has been a presentation of ESPN.